It's Friday again. Welcome to Toby's for Pitchside, the Mayo News Sports Weekly. There's only one show in town this week, as you can see from the green and red all around us. It's the green and red against the green and gold. It's Mayo against Donegal. It's even Mayo against Donegal to a certain degree in the Mayo News office as well, because today we're joined by my colleague Oisín Bradley, proudly wearing his green and gold today, Oisín.
Yeah.
We were speaking all week about the connections between the counties, connections between families, connections between peoples, and we're great friends, but you know, for 70 minutes, 80 minutes on Sunday, that'll go out the window a bit.
Yeah, it'll definitely be hard to maintain that sort of professionalism, and I'll be standing up and try not to whoop and holler and support Donegal all the way, because I'll be in Mayo News colours that day. But listen, it's been a great build-up. There's been plenty of a crack had in the office and plenty of barbs thrown about Michael Murphy and Aidan O'Shea and whatnot. But listen, it's been a fantastic build-up, and it's going to be a good game, hopefully. Yeah,
the All-Ireland series, like in Hyde Park Sunday, 4 o'clock. We can barely wait for it to happen. We've been talking all week too about past games, about your memories of games against Mayo. My earliest memory of Mayo and Donegal, well, it has to be the earliest memory because the first time they played in Championship was 92. Probably the worst game ever played. We knew we were going to win. Donegal knew they were going to win as well, and Donegal actually won and went on to win the All-Ireland.
Yeah, it seems to be a bit of a running theme when Donegal and Mayo play each other. There's plenty of confidence on both sides. Neither team wants to take a step back. They're kind of both at that same sort of level in terms of football and history and stuff over the last 30-40 years. Again, you said about that game in 92. I was chatting to my father about it, and he said, listen, there's nothing good to write about that day. If I was there, I would have had a short match report.
Yeah.
But it didn't really matter for Donegal people. They went on to their first All-Ireland final, and listen, the story went from there, didn't it?
Yeah, and 2012, you had another great day.
Yeah, I don't think Mayo people want to hear too much about 2012, so let's get over it quickly. Like, I have no balls in saying it was one of the best days of my life anyway. I was only 13 when I went to the Hogan stand that day, and seeing Michael Murphy, listen, the son of Mayo as well, lifting the Sam Maguire, it was a great day, but it was all downhill from there in terms of Donegal Mayo games, unfortunately.
Yeah, if Donegal were playing anyone else that day, we'd have wanted you to win. But yeah, since then, 2013, we really came back with a bang, and the 3 games since 2012 we've won, and we've a great record in Hyde Park too, so it's going to be really interesting on Sunday. And what are Donegal going to bring on Sunday?
Again, the Donegal team, listen, there's plenty of players in there that you'd be looking at from a Mayo perspective. If I was putting on my Mayo hat here, I'd say there's plenty of problems. I seen the team sheet come out there a while ago. Darrell O'Beal was brought in. He scored something like 130 so far this year. He's got plenty of firepower. Oisín Gallen, he was an all-star last year.
Super player.
There's plenty to say on that. He's replacing Patrick McBurty, which kind of shows the strength and depth that Donegal have, that they can bring off the likes of Patrick McBurty and put in Oisín Gallen.
Yeah.
And then you have Shaun Patton coming back in.
Yeah.
His kickouts could be crucial in this game. Gavin Mulroney hasn't had the best time since he stepped into the fold. Listen, there's no slight in him. It takes a while to get up to the pace of senior inter-county football, especially against the likes of Tyrone. But Patton's kickouts could be
And your halfbacks, they come forward all the time too, and they're really decisive.
That's something that Mayo will be looking to sort of cull a small bit, sort of tag on those runners. You have Patter Mogan coming forward. You have Ryan McHugh. Listen, Ryan McHugh's a fantastic player. Then you have the likes of Stephen McMenamin as well in the defence that can come forward and tag on a few points. That's something that Mayo themselves, I suppose, will be looking to do as well.
Yeah.
She's seen it against Tyrone the last day. It's something that Mayo did properly was Paddy Durkin.
Yeah, we got forward. 5 points from the back the last day. I think Durkin coming back in Oma was phenomenal. He made a huge difference. And Rory Brickenden coming forward and scoring 2 points, which was unexpected. I think it has given Brickenden huge confidence. We've been saying in the Mayo News for all year that we weren't getting scores from the back since the days of Keegan and Boyle and all these guys. But the last day in Oma we got 5 points. We played really well. We pressed up on the Tyrone kick out. We caused Niall Morgan no end of trouble. So if Patton is back, it's a big plus for Donegal, but still I think if we put a few diagonals into O'Shea and the boys inside, that it caused mayhem in Oma.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you look up and you mix it up a small bit in terms of always trying to work it through the hands and find that percentage shot, teams can sort of see that and figure it out. But if you mix it up and throw even like 2 or 3 long balls into the box in a game, it could flummox a defence, and Mayo people will be hoping it flummoxes.
Yeah, like Mayo have named a team, but it's hard to know if that's the team. Bob Tuhu was very good in Oma. Sean Morahan was very good in Oma. And both of them don't seem to be in the starting 15, but knowing Stephen Rochford, and the way he puts teams out before games, there's always a big surprise. Now, whether Phillips starts in goal instead of Reap, I'm not sure that's going to happen. No. But But there could be some dramatic changes.
Yeah, Donegal are kind of known for the same sort of hijinks in terms of there's been 2 changes to the team about 10 minutes before the throw into the game.
Yeah.
So we won't fully know, but we have a bit of an indication. And if you're looking at, again, you said about probing long balls into the box, Mayo have to be very much on their wits to sort of stop Michael Murphy when because he's a colossus in there. There's no getting around it. He's Mr. Donegal in lots of ways, and he takes so much in.
And who's going to mark him? Like, I mean, can anybody mark him really, or do you try and stop the ball getting to him, or what is it? It's going to be very difficult.
It's impossible. From watching the club scene in Donegal, a lot of teams just triple mark him. They need that many players. He's just unplayable at times. It might take 2 men sort of tagging on to him.
We seemed to deal with him in Castlebar the last time, and he got really emotional that day. If it's tight, it's hard to know how it'll develop. It'll be really, really interesting if the game is tight.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to go down the home stretch. Who you think will win it, and it's really hard to predict. In fairness,
it is. We'll have the main man to do that now after a while to predict the outcome of this one. Yeah. But finally, for you personally, being in the Mayo News, you're a huge addition to our organisation. But it's going to be slightly difficult for you on Sunday in the press box. Obviously we'll be unbiased, but you know that the rest of us will all be hoping Mayo will win.
Yeah, it'll be a really strange environment for myself. Like I'll be obviously having to look at it from the Mayo side of things and put the Mayo slant on the proceedings. Even though internally I'll obviously be looking at every kick of the ball that Donegal players make. Yeah. So I'll really have to sort of have my wits about me in terms of making sure everything's...
Yeah, but it'll be interesting, and we'll all be friends again at the final whistle.
Yeah, after Donegal win, we'll all be friends.
But look at Oisín, thanks so much for that. And now we'll move on to the prediction from the main man, the Oracle from Kilmeena. So now we've got rid of our Donegal friend, and we've replaced him with the Oracle of Kilmeena. Look, at the people of Mayo are waiting to hear his verdict. He was spot on for the game in Omagh. He got it right. Mayo were going to win. Now we're all waiting to see what my friend and colleague Ronan O'Donnell is going to tell us about Sunday's game. Ronan, how's it going to go?
Well, look, it's do or die for Mayo. This is it.
Yeah.
They have to win. I think there's a performance in Mayo yet again. Stephen Rotford was with Donegal for years. He knows them inside out.
Yeah.
But this is it. We need scorers. We need Ryan O'Donoghue, Aidan O'Shea, Jack Carney, massive games. And defenders, Jack Coyne, Rory Brickenden. They need to be tight with their markers from Donegal. Yeah. Donegal are a serious side, no doubt about it.
Super team run, aren't they? Like, they're many people's favourites to win the All-Ireland.
Michael Murphy, one of the best footballers ever.
Yeah.
And Jim McGuinness, he's a genius. He's been around the block. He knows the story. Yeah. But with 10 minutes to go, if Mayo are thereabouts, I think they can do it.
Yeah. Oh, they're going to do it. Yeah, absolutely, they're going to do it.
I think they have to do it. There's no choice.
That's the whole thing. Yeah. And that's, I think, over the years, that's when we do it. When we're put up to it. When we're sometimes given little chance.
Yeah, once again now with the bookmakers, I think they're like close to 3-1,
11-4, yeah.
Yeah, not many people are giving Mayo a chance, but I certainly would once again.
And would you, if you had any money, would you put it on Mayo?
Not a lot, but maybe.
I think that's a hesitant vote for Mayo, is it, Ronan?
Just about, yeah. Mayo by a few.
Mayo by a few, yeah. One will do. But guys, again, thanks for joining us here in Toby's on Friday. And we're really looking forward to the weekend, but we're also really looking forward to Tuesday when the paper will be out and you can get your hands on it. And if not, follow us on mayonews.ie. And if not, be back here again in Toby's next Friday for Pitchside, the Mayo News Sports Weekly.